How are you? This is Gabriel Yak, and I have a message to religious people. You know, um, let's consider the days we're living in today. You know, at the brink of redemption, obviously, and um, and the religious people still haven't woken up to what many holy people have to. You know, take a look at all the Jews today. I mean, misguided, unknown, not knowing, what Torah is, not knowing what mitzvot are. It's time to, raise the bar as far as Torah and mitzvot go, and it's also time to, you know, hit the next level as far as guidance go. I mean, we're religious, we know a little bit about maybe at least about what life is, what it's supposed to be. Then again, a lot of religious people like to, observe the Torah the wrong way, through the wrong rabbis, through the wrong guidance, all, throughout the gayness type of guidance, meaning I follow my rabbi, you follow your rabbi, all this nonsense. All this nonsense got to come to an end, I mean, let's take a good look at, history, for example. There's Moshe Rabbeinu, born, Mr. MOSAIC himself, making history, brought the Torah straight from heaven, brought it down to us. And we're not the same Jewish people that we were, before we got the Torah compared to after we got the Torah. So Moshe paved the way for Mashiach in his own way, You see, the religious people need to wake up to a certain reality. This is where life gets exciting, religious people. It's time to stop with the, corruption, especially with the spiritual corruption that are given from false rabbinic leaders. There's a difference between a true Rav who leads you, or maybe not leads you, or guides you the right way. I'm saying religious people are like Ravs, in all honesty, especially today's days. It's time to guide the Jewish people the right way. The right way. Many Jewish people who are led like sheep to the slaughter by other Jews, which is wrong. We know better. We got to do something about it now. I mean, we worked hard. We learned our Torah, we paid our dues for Torah, we suffered before we learned Torah. We paid a lot of hard dues. I hate to see it come to waste, though. The religious people that I see are used to living the old-fashioned way. You see, the differences before the Torah was given, it was all MOSAIC. That was the way of life before the Torah was given. MOSAIC style. After the Torah was given, that pays the MESSIANIC lifestyle. So I want to ask you a question, straight to your face, eye to eye. This man right here, this bad boy right here. Do you want to live the way you're living in the past, mosaically, or are you going to wake up and start to live messianically? I'm saying there's history to be made right now, and it's time to start living the right way in being religious, so-called religious. Not kasha varnish, just religious, not matzo ball soup religious. I'm not talking about BS. I'm talking about real religious, where somebody says, look, this is a real Jew, that's a real Jew. Not what kind of a Jew are you? You listen to your rabbi like this, what kind of a Jew are you? Or you talk to your rabbi, you listen to your rabbi, don't stray right or left from what they teach you. This is the misinterpretation of what it means, and we go by it because we quit and we gave up. Because some rabbi, once great man rabbi broke us on the inside, right? That's the style, right? Now, Moshe was known to be very close with the Arab Rav, too, That man didn't reach his potential, we all know that, I mean, you got religious people who, have in the past promoted as Menachem Mendel Schneerson, for example, as being Melech Mashiach. This is no Melech Mashiach. Of course not. He's no Melech Mashiach if there were Jews out there who would kick his ass easily. This man could shake hands like Yizkiyahu HaMelech, but I'll tell you, the Lubavitcher Rebbe, Menachem Mendel Schneerson, could never shake hands with a man, like the Mashiach ben David can, and like many other holy Jews out there, especially in Yerushalayim, can. Shake hands like a real man. I'm not saying he shook hands like no man. I'm saying he shook hands like a man, but that man could never shake hands like a real man. Especially in comparison to the Mashiach ben David. Whoever he is out there, God bless him, right? What I'm saying is, there's the MOSAIC way, which you're all used to living like pities in my eyes, honestly. Very inspiring, just not to me anymore. You know, when I became religious, you were very inspiring to me in your own ways. I learned from the very best of your, tips of the icebergs. It was a pleasure, honestly. Thank you. It was my honor to learn from you at your best, only at your best, though. But you see, the religious people of today, unlike many holy people, are living mosaically, which is a problem in my eyes, honestly, because I know you're better than that. You see, do you want to live mosaically and be a part of history, or do you want to live messianically, be a part of the present, and make the future this time? That's the question to you. Mosaic is mosaic, baby, but, messianic is messianic, and we're living in the messianic days. These are messianic times, right? This ain't no fanaticism. This ain't no craziness. This ain't no fanatical kosher ways too, This ain't fanatical at all. This ain't extreme at all. This is what's right. I live life by what's right by the Torah, though. That's me though. I have no problem with religious people. I'm religious myself. I'm just not bullshit religious. There's a difference. A lot of religious people I know have ignored, what they're not supposed to ignore. You don't know life this way, though. You see, there are people who are not religious who could really guide you in many ways, and then again, there's people who are like you, religious, who could guide them in many ways too, though. But as far as the tour in life goes, non-religious people shouldn't be able to guide you better than you could guide them as far as life goes. I mean, you got the crop of the Torah, right? Then again, you misuse it for what? Spiritual corruption, the wrong way of living. This is what it's all about for you, right? Isn't it? It's just a question, eye-to-eye question. You're living in the past. You're living in the past. You see Moshe, you've seen people like, Rav Menachem Mendel Schneerson, the Lubavitcher Rebbe. But then again, you know the likes of Moses, but I'll tell you, you don't know the likes of the Messianical. You see, today's day and age, there's different ways of living. There's good, there's better than good. Yada yada. What's right is the question. I mean, you could be doing the right thing, but I think, you could be doing the righter thing, be living better. I'm saying the Jews out there need your help. Need you to live right, live properly according to the Torah, and guide them now. It's time to make history now. So, I see many religious people living mosaically. Which are the roots? But what about the messianical future? What does the future hold? In just maybe a few years, you really want to be left behind because of misguidance again and again? I'm asking you a straight up question. I'm not afraid of any leaders or rabbis or anything. Those of you who know me know that pretty well. Those of you know me. I've come straight to the face if I had to, eye to eye if I had to, and I've taken it to many of your leaders that maybe you've heard of, who were teaching the wrong way and doing the wrong things. Though, taking it to them for fun. I didn't out-league them because it keeps me laughing on the inside. Not at them. It just keeps me laughing at what's happening. Though, honestly, I'm not mocking anyone. I'm not a mocker. I'm not a scoffer at all, to be honest with you. But, if you want to rumble, let's rumble. If you want to put it to the test, you want to see who's really intact as far as Torah goes. I'm not talking about brainwashing and a challenge to brainwash me or anything like that, or a challenge to misguide me or anything like that. I'm not talking about real toe-to-toe as far as what Torah is and Torah is about. Torah, mitzvot, merits, deeds, living life. Mosaic versus messianical. See, there are Mosaic religious people, there are messianical religious people. Two different paths. I see one as the lower path, I see one as the higher path. But question is to you, be honest with yourselves. It's okay. I'm honest with you though. Always have been, always will be, right? I'm saying is that you people have been asleep way too long for the last 5 years or something. It hasn't been the same. You people haven't been the same for the last 5 years from what I've seen in the world. You let the world penetrate your hearts and affect you, and you haven't even been as high spiritually as you have been, the way it was maybe 5 years ago. The Jewish people need you though. But then again, you're listening to nonsense again and again. That's the truth. I'm telling you the truth. The truth. I'm trying to say it's time to raise the bar. I'm trying to say it's time to take it to the next level. I'm trying to say it's time to get through the Jewish people now on following the Torah to the highest. Let's really take it to the max now. Let's really take it to the max this time, you know? Before I became religious, I'm like, I'm going to apply everything I ever knew to the Torah, to everything, really give it my best shot. I did, though. The best thing I ever did, though, I'll tell you that. I've lived religiously the right way. And again, I can't control myself in a lot of things, too, though. It has nothing to do with minuses. It's just, when your spirituality is high, and you're living in a time or day and age where many are low spiritually, you gotta adapt. Sometimes, you do things that are not in your control because it keeps you at one with the world and living with the world. Sometimes when you can't control yourself, you might end up in lower areas. It helps other people in lower areas go higher, though, with the right means, obviously. So it's all about growing together. Then again, the question is it a matter of life or death? You can't control yourself and you go lower, and you don't know about it maybe, or you know about it maybe. Or would you prevent somebody from feeling sick spiritually on the inside? When people feel sick on the inside, it's life or death, whether you know it or not. There's a lot of Kabbalistic delving to do there, if you really want to know the answer, though. But then again, you people don't believe in these things, right? You just don't believe in it. You just don't believe in too good to be true, obviously. What do you believe in, Lubavitch Rebbe? He's dead. That's not Melech Mashiach. That sure as hell ain't Mashiach ben David. I could say, Mashiach ben David is a reincarnation of David HaMelech. Well, Lubavitch Rebbe is a reincarnation of Yizkiyahu HaMelech. That's the reincarnation of Yizkiyahu HaMelech. He sure as hell is no reincarnation of David HaMelech. David HaMelech, I'll tell you, is like one of the prized fighters, Jewish and Gentile. David HaMelech was like guys like Dimitri Salita, guys like Tangpo, guys like Jean-Claude Van Damme, guys like Bruce Lee. Better though, than them all put together. He was a great martial artist too, a great kickboxer too. See, I know a lot about him. I know a lot about the great names in the past. I know a lot about Yehuda, which might not catch the eye of people living today, but I know history pretty well. Actual history, not taught history. I know things that people don't know about many people of the past. You said I've learned from them too. Not just Torah, but life appliances. There's a lot of info out there. So, I'm sure you've heard of Mashiach ben Yosef. Mashiach ben Yosef reminds you of a MOSAIC kind, Mashiach ben David, if you ask me, reminds me of a out of this world kind, extraordinary kind. He's no Lubavitcher Rebbe kind. I'll tell you that much. Many of these other holy people that are in his footsteps, they're not like the Lubavitcher Rebbe kind. You can really feel them. You don't feel, I'll go by the Arabs there so they'll merit and being better people and I'll reach through them. Like the Lubavitcher Rebbe style was. The actual Messianic style is, I'll do right with them, I'll do justice with them if I have to, is the Messianic style. I won't have the mercy on the Arabs there, on corrupt, crooked, religious type of people, the fake religious type of people. Their helpers or whatever, their friends. No, this is a different game. This ain't no ball game. This game sucks. This ain't no game. This is out of this world. Mosaic versus Messianic. You know, are you going to keep on being the Mosaic kind? Or are you going to wake up and stop looking like sleeping giants, especially when it comes to Torah, and you can actually apply it to where it belongs? Moshe took it easy on the Arab Rab, didn't he? Didn't even make it to Israel. Took the Jews out of Egypt, did all these big things, kicked the whole world's ass, into a wilderness, 40 years, what happened to the Jews? Where are the Jews, right? Very funny. To then have the ancestor of Mashiach ben Yosef, Yeshua ben Nun, leading them right into Israel. Well, the Jews have been brought to a wilderness again, it looks like. It's time to be led to Israel, right? Just the Messianic this way this time, not the Mosaic way, right? Mosaic way versus Messianic way. I'm too much of a champion to get through to you, right? You stay out of my way, right? Well, I'm looking at you now, though. I did before. Still taking breathers, huh? Well, if you're really that good, let's see who's better. Again and again. And anything. All Torah. Please, please. Let's try it, please. One more time. Give me a good laugh again, please. I love laughing at the way things are done in the misguided, corrupt spiritual areas of what false Rabbanim do. It's funny to me. I'm not laughing at religious people. I'm not laughing at Torah scholars, of course. I'm laughing at what's happening. It's kind of humorous, honestly. It's not funny what's happening, but it's kind of, it makes me laugh, though. How long are the religious Jews going to continue living the so-called religious or the so-called Jewish way, which has been portrayed and corrupted in its meaning when it was explained even in all these ways? When are you going to stop living the, misguided way? You look like sleeping sheep right now. These are the religious people? You guys forgot what religious means? You guys forgot what you, gave to the world, or the products, you gave and brought to the world? How you used to, impact people? Reach into people's hearts? You just teach shiurim now, huh? You're just writing shiurs now, huh? The ones that don't get through it anymore, right? Not anymore, right? Why, you seen too many bad people in the last 5 years? You felt too many bad things from a lot of bad people in the last 5 years? Well, that was their game on you. You see, I don't play games. All these games you guys got as far as, misguiding the religious people and all these fake rabbi leaders is nonsense. It's nonsensical. I mean, it's constant misguidance there. Constant brainwashing there. You guys don't know anything about Kabbalah even. No Kabbalah, right? The rabbis are way out of line saying, you can't learn Kabbalah unless you're 40 years old, or unless you learned all the Talmuds. It doesn't say this in the Torah, though. You go by things like this, though. For example, like wearing tzitzit, right? The Torah says, I mean, sure, it reminds you all the mitzvot and all that stuff of what it says, right? Right? But it says, you're wearing, four-cornered garment, you wear tzitzit then. Well, maybe you could put it on if you want to, though, right? Right? But the past false rabbanim have projected for you to wear it, regardlessly. You see, there's a right way of doing things, there's a wrong way of doing things. First start the right way of doing things, right? The Torah way, right? What are you going to say? MOSAIC is messianical too? Feels corrupt to say, right? When are you going to stop going by corruption? You work so hard at the end, some false rabbinic leader, Mr. Shlita himself, right? Misguide you the wrong way? When are you going to break out of this one, huh? You're going to wait for people like Mashiach ben David to do the right thing, right? We'll only wait for Mashiach, right? We'll only wait for Mashiach to do all the dirty work, right? These people have, paid their dues. They've done all the dirty work. When are you going to do the right work, though? You're like champions of the lower kind, to be honest with you. Not of the higher kind, though. Take it from the champion of champions. You're champions of the MOSAIC kind. You're champions of the Torah-given kind, even. You're not champions of the Torah that will be given by the Mashiach himself. You're not champions of the future. When are you going to wake up? When are you going to wake everyone up again? When are you going to wake up the rest of the Jewish people again? When are you going to do what's right with the Jewish people again? They need you now. I'm here to tell you they need you now. It's time for you to do what's right for yourself. It's for them too. Jewish people need you now. Have the tzaddikim faded? They have never faded like this in history, I'll tell you that much. Because of people like Gog. It's no secret what he's done to holy people when holy people were, in a position and weren't supposed to do anything at the time because it's supposed to let it happen for the sake of the Jewish people, even the stupid Jewish people, just for their benefit later on, so they could see conveniently and luxuriously that their beliefs are all a bunch of BS. You see, many of these Jews go by beliefs. Say, I believe, and they don't let reality occur. They don't see the dream. They don't see the life. They can't live life now. They don't live the life. They don't know what life is, too. Yet, you have the Torah so close to you, within your grasp, and yet you still think or believe you know life. I say life, it comes from me, I know what life is. I know what love is. No, it's not a misinterpretation, saying we're just giving unconditionally or whatever it is you were taught. There's more to everything. I'm saying it's time to stop, keeping the Torah lifelessly. And it's time to do it with life now. Lifeless versus life? The lifeless isn't even MOSAIC. Lifeless is Mashiach ben Yosef style. That's not good. Too many problems. Mashiach ben Yosef style. Out with the old, in with the new, baby. Be there for the Jewish people. With life. Mashiach ben Yosef has done a great job fighting for the Jewish people without them knowing about it. Not minding his business, protecting the Jewish people secretly. Mashiach ben Yosef. Amen. Like a king. Are you ready for Mashiach ben David? No, you are not. You're not ready for Mashiach ben David. If you say Mashiach like Mashiach, you're not ready for Mashiach ben David. You're not ready for the messianical life. You're not ready for the messianical age, especially. You're not ready for the Mashiach. That's the truth. Mashiach now, right? You gonna hold the Israeli flag up and say Mashiach now and smile? Like Dimitri Salita? Hell, Dimitri Salita ain't even ready for Mashiach. You just say Mashiach now, ready for Mashiach. Mashiach, right? Who's Mashiach to you? It's just a saying or a phrase, say Mashiach now? We respect the Mashiach? Is it just it? You don't even know what the Mashiach is in full, to be honest with you. But you're going to say, I've misjudged you and I've spoken in the wrong form and I'm way misinformed, right? As if I never was religious, right? Well, just don't say it behind my back. This time I'm telling you, I'm taking your attention now. I look bad doing this because I'm that good, right? And I'm telling you, this time do it to my face. This time let's go. And let's see who knows Torah better. And who lives life better. And who knows what the life is better. With God. There are people who sacrifice themselves for the Jewish people. There are people who sacrifice themselves for the Torah. Beautiful. There are a few people who sacrifice themselves for God. The right way. Beautiful, beautiful. All beautiful. I'm going to make it handsome. That's me, though. You know? I've showed you beautifully, but, you know, I'm going to make it handsome this time. It's time for you people to prove yourselves to the messianical kind of people. Because all along, this whole time, you said, you know, they're like this, you know, they're like this, yada, 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 but you don't know anything about them. I'm trying to say you don't know anything about the actual prized tzaddikim and prized holy people that are in the world today. You're just saying, Mashiach now. Mashiach now, right? Mashiach now. You're with the Erev Zer on many things. You're with corrupt, fake religious people on many things, and you live that way in life. Yet you don't want to break out of it. When are you going to break out of it is the question. And the other question is, when are you going to take your position or positions and take it to the max and really live out life the way it's supposed to be lived out and really guide the Jewish people you're supposed to? And take it to them for fun this time. And once again, bring back the way things were in the days of old, the way you did in the past, when you brought the Jews back to Torah and the Jews back to life. Hell, they even showed you a better life because of you. Look at how far they saw when when you let them climb on your shoulders and see so far away. You did this together, no? You forgot already, right? The religious people? When are you going to do what's right? And most of all, when are you going to wake up to today's life? The life that exists. Actual reality, not beliefs. The actual reality of life. And the question is, when are you going to reach your potential? When are you going to become the way you're supposed to be? The question is, when will you guide the Jewish people to the Torah, to God once again? And my question to you is, are you going to be just MOSAIC? Or are you going to be messianical, like the rest of the heroes of the Torah and the men of God? Mashiach now.